Mellow greetings, everybody. My name is James. I am from the internet. And today we are going to be talking about the stock market. Now, if you're like me, or the vast majority of Americans, you don't really know a whole hell of a lot about the stock market because you don't own stocks, because you don't have any capital, because you're a member of the working class who uses 100% of their income to pay their regular day-to-day bills. Now, if you've been listening to Donald Trump for the last 4 years, he would have you believe that the health of the stock market is a reflection of the overall health of the economy and the nation financially. But as it has been pointed out time and time again, in all actuality, the stock market is really just sort of like an EKG for the current emotional well-being of the 200 wealthiest people on the planet. That's really all it is. If they're in a good mood and they feel good about their investments, line goes up. If they don't, line goes down. It's all kind of bullshit. And so, to prove that point, a few hundred people on Reddit decided to put a call out to some friends and see if they could take on the stock market and prove how nonsensical it is, amongst many other things that they proved throughout the process of this ongoing saga. So if you don't know what's up yet with all this crazy stuff you're hearing on the internet about GameStop and Reddit and stock prices, well, I'm going to explain it to you, and I'm going to try to break the entire thing down so that it actually makes sense and that you can experience the true profound joy that I am experiencing now that I understand how awesome this whole thing is. So here we go. How Reddit day traders are using the platform to upend the stock market and make money in the process. Like Bitcoin and Tesla, the Reddit forum WallStreetBets grew exponentially in 2020. In the first weeks of 2021, it discovered just how strong it's become. The subreddit subscriber count ballooned by 133% to 1.8 million members last year. Growth accelerated further this month, and the forum's 2.2 million current members now drive one of the platform's most active pages. Members have spent the last 3 weeks bidding up the video game retailer GameStop, and the results have been spectacular. Shares have skyrocketed more than 1,200% since WallStreetBets first piled in January 11th. Their overwhelming bullishness has fueled billions of dollars in losses for short sellers. Now, if you don't know what a Reddit is just a website that has millions of users. People go there, they post comments and content. There's threads with comments. People upvote it and downvote it based upon how much they like it. And then the website aggregates the content that people choose and upvote the most up to the top on pages. It's very democratic like that. During the GameStop trade saga, several WallStreetBets posts with tens of thousands of upvotes graced the front page. Countless users unfamiliar with WallStreetBets have been exposed to its exuberance and high-risk, high-reward behavior, often through posts showing off multi-million-dollar gains on GameStop shares. The core behavior seen in the market isn't unheard of. The first few days of gains saw WallStreetBets members cheer the rally and beg more to join in. Posts made it to the popular front page, and WallStreetBets members gained online infamy. More casual investors were introduced to the trend, and a cycle began. Quote, "This is a human emotional cycle, and now you have more people at home and spending more time on their devices. It's all fuel for the acceleration of these sentiment cycles." Now, here is where I'm going to point out that when this trend started, for financial investors who don't read Reddit, who just, look on their Bloomberg terminal at how stocks are operating, there were like head-scratching moments. Like people were sitting in, CNBC studios going, I have no idea what the hell's going on. Like these people literally upended a global financial market. And it got to the point where CNBC and Money Market Watch and all of these shows, they were bringing on like former chair people of the Fed and like high-end financial people to sit around and explain that a whole bunch of people on the internet were trying to dupe everybody and trying to manipulate the market. Yet these are the very same shows who trot out experts who come out and go, oh my God, this stock is going to get short sold. You need to buy. And they do it because they can sell advertising on it. But essentially, people on social media, without the help of these large old-scale financial institutions and media companies, just sort of did it themselves. And then it became a giant middle finger, and shit got real. Reddit's structure and the democratic nature of users picking the most popular content differs wildly from Wall Street's research reports and market analysis. yet both generate trade ideas that proliferate across market participants. And WallStreetBets' ability to turn free user-produced research into hugely viral media has seemingly been underestimated. Quote, "You have these media-driven platforms where the media isn't controlled by the institutions in the way that it has historically been. It's really a sign that the institutions are losing some control." And as we have covered many times on videos here, when old school, powerful institutions who are most normally controlled by a small handful of old, rich white dudes, when they start to lose power, they get very, very angry and start flailing about uncontrollably. Many WallStreetBets members advertise the GameStop trade as a surefire way to post quick gains so long as they keep the bullish faith. They've largely been right. After shares experienced the initial pop roughly 2 weeks ago, gains have continued in pronounced fashion and amounted to more than 300% this week alone. Others rally investors to the cause by posting the GameStop trade as an anti-establishment movement, a middle finger to an industry that underestimates the Redditors' influence. They proclaim that with fee-free trading platforms, easily accessible margin, and enough allies, they can beat the funds that have dominated Wall Street for so long. Now, this is somewhat ironic because all of these financial systems used to be closed to everybody other than licensed traders and brokers. And over time, with the hyper-commodification and the maximizing of capitalism that we have ongoing in the United States of America, where we have to extract the maximum possible amount of wealth off of every single process or procedure that's available to people, eventually the financial institutions lobbied for and got the ability to open up trading to everybody. And that's why when you're watching NFL football on Sunday, you see commercials for TD Ameritrade, sit at home and do your own trading, zero cost stocks, blah, blah, blah. So, after the folks at CNBC trotted out all the professionals to cry boo-hoo, what about the hedge fund managers? Look at all these people on the internet. They're causing chaos and havoc, and all these wealthy people are possibly going to be not quite as wealthy tomorrow. Stop the madness. Yeah, well, Reddit had a response to that, and it looked something like this. An open letter to CNBC. Before you spend another day hosting your shill hedge fund buddies to come on the air and demonize WallStreetBets, I hope you read this. Your contempt for the retail investor, your audience, is palpable, and if you don't get it together, you'll lose an entire new generation of investors. I keep thinking about these funds that are shorting GameStop, like your boys at Melvin Capital, and your coverage of this subreddit, and I'm getting madder and madder. These funds can manipulate the market via your network, and if they screw up big because they don't even know the basics of portfolio risk 101 and using position sizing, they just get a bailout from their billionaire friends at Citadel, an investment group. Then they have the nerve to turn us into public enemy number one just because we believe in an underdog company getting a second chance. We don't have billionaires to bail us out when we mess up our portfolio and a position goes against us. We can't go on TV and make attempts to manipulate millions to take our side of the trade. If we mess up as bad as they did, we're wiped out, have to start from scratch, and we're back to giving handjobs behind the dumpster at Wendy's. Seriously, motherfuck these people. I seriously hope they suffer. We want to see the lost porn. Yeah, the old school institutions wanted to fight back, and the Redditors doubled down. And since then, they have been ruthlessly driving that stock higher and higher and higher, costing hedge fund managers billions of dollars. All because their entire investment strategy is built on shorting stocks, which means essentially they're betting on them to fail, and then they use other positions in the market with other things they own to further squeeze the life out of those companies to make their wish a reality so that they can further profit from the accelerated losses of everybody else. And these are the people who are crying to the networks and anybody who will listen that this is somehow unfair and it's market manipulation when people other than them do it. And so, for once, the people in entrenched power are the ones who are losing their shirt. And the people on the fringe, the people on the edge, the people who might not have access to all of the resources that all of these large-scale trading houses have, well, these people are seeing good things happen for them. And at the end of the day, that's really what we want, right? We just want people to be doing better. Well, Here's a couple messages from people wanting you to know how well this turned out for them as opposed to the hedge fund managers. One user on WallStreetBets wrote, quote, "I can now write my mom a check and put my sister through Lyme treatment. This has been a very rough year, but I'm so thankful for every single one of you." Apparently, this person had a very good week listening to the people on the Reddit page. I want to thank you guys for saving my best friend's life. Monday afternoon, I took my best friend, an American bulldog who's 2.5 years old, to the vet because he wasn't putting any weight on his back leg. Turns out he needed knee surgery, and that cost $4,000. I broke down because I didn't have that much, didn't qualify for the payment plan, and it was either the surgery or wait till his other knee blew out and then put him to sleep. I put all the money I had in GameStop at around $97 a share, and AMC at $4.84 a share on Tuesday morning, which was total a little less than $1,000, with an exit plan to get out once I had enough. This morning, after market open, I was able to sell enough to pay for his surgery. I am in tears and really grateful. Thank you, everyone, and good luck. P.S. Here's a picture of me and my best friend this group helped me save. So again, I'm not going to lose any sleep at all over hedge fund managers because look at him. Who's a good boy? You're the good boy, aren't you? You're a good boy. Now, before I go, there's one last point I would like to make. The why don't they pull themselves up by their bootstraps crowd? You know, the people who idolize Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and say that they totally deserve to make $45,000 a minute because that's just how hard they work, while, you know, everybody else just needs to work harder and bootstrap more and, you know, do whatever it is they got to do. Well, that's exactly what these people did. They bucked the trend. They bucked the system. They gave a middle finger to entrenched powers, and they got a whole bunch of people to jump on board with them, and they completely befuddled a global financial market. And this has not stopped. They are going to continue looking for and identifying stocks that lots of hedge fund managers have shorted the stock on, and they're going to keep flooding and buying those stocks and making all of these people lose billions of dollars. And you know why I'm not going to lose any sleep over it? Last year during the pandemic, billionaires, the investor class, made $3.9 trillion while the working class lost $3.7 trillion. So for once, it would seem the working class got an opportunity to extract wealth from the investor class. I am sure this is not the last we've seen of this story, and I'm gonna keep my eye on it. And hopefully I'll be able to come back with more joyous tales from the internet about this particular subject sometime soon. Until then, my name is James. I am from the internet, and I am out. Peace.